It's like Woodstock for Sidney Crosby.
He's a hometown boy, and we love him.
I just thought it'd be really cool to do it for the real thing this time.
He's a wonderful role model for the youth of Nova Scotia, Cole Harbour, Halifax, Canada.
I would say this is the best birthday I've ever had.
On June 12th, Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins prepared for Game 7 of the 2009 Stanley Cup Final. The perennial powerhouse Detroit Red Wings had thwarted Crosby's championship dream the previous season and appeared primed to repeat before Sid and the Penguins battled back to force the series' decisive game.
The focus and what you have to do is pretty clear, and just human nature to have a little bit of nerves and be a little nervous, but at the same time, you've got to find a way to perform. We hadn't had a lot of luck in Detroit, but it had to turn some point, and hopefully that was the time it was going to be, and I think we all felt that way.
Toss out all the statistics, forget about all the previous games. None of it matters anymore except this one game.
When you're in that situation, there's no real other option. You've got to leave it all out there.
Pittsburgh equaled the defending champs at every turn and held a 1-0 lead in the second when they were dealt a heavy blow.
And Crosby hunched over, apparently hurt on this play, and he will try to get to the bench.
Well, when the time it happened, I was thinking I'm in pretty big trouble here.
Crosby really hurting at the bench. They're helping him back towards the locker room.
I could barely get off the ice, and I knew that might be something that, you know, kept me away from things. Try freezing and all that kind of stuff, and it just felt like it wasn't getting a whole lot better.
Back again, put Kennedy over the right side, Talbot shoots, he scores! Max Talbot!
You always depend on the guy next to you. That's the way it always is. I had all the confidence in the world.
Undeterred, Sid's teammates clutched a 2-1 lead in the game's waning moments.
That last minute, I remember thinking to myself, is this really it? Because you're in the playoffs, you win a game, and you move on. You're kind of pinching yourself like, is this done? Are we really done after this?
The Penguins have won the Stanley Cup, and Lord Stanley, scratch their names on your fabled cup.
It's a great feeling to see everyone's face and you see how happy they are. See so many dreams come true. Everyone's got a kind of different path to winning. You've got all these different stories, and you see everyone realize the same goal.
We did it!
I remember holding it and then thinking it was kind of heavy, but then by the time I lifted it, it felt like nothing. It's so special. It's easy to see why guys work so hard to get to that point. I just remember carrying the cup. My sister was standing with Mario's kids right by the bench, right where I skated by. That image will always stay pretty clear in my mind.
Yes,
I remember going in the room and Max Talbot was just kind of sitting there. Thought maybe he was banged up or a little hurt, or, you know, and I said, what are you doing? And he said, oh, I'm just taking a picture. You know, I said, I'm taking it all in. So that's a good idea. So we just kind of sat there. It's easy to get caught up in that and then enjoy it, but at the same time, you want to remember it as much as you can because you never know when it's going to happen again.
But the celebration on the ice was only the beginning.
It's a good day. It's my birthday, and couldn't get a better gift than having the cup come in. I've dreamed about being able to do this for a long time, and you know, to be able to bring it back, it means a lot, and I'm happy to share it with everyone here.
Stanley wasn't Sid's only visitor. Game 7 hero Max Talbot was also along for the ride.
He's getting to a few guys' cup parties. He's soaking it in, and he should. People really appreciated him being there, and I did too. It's really fun to share it with someone he went through the whole run with.
For their first stop, Sid and Stanley were assured to arrive in style.
We're just getting on the Sea King here, the chopper, and we're going to head on to the Navy ship, bring the cup on there.
kind of nervous. I mean, he looks like he knows what he's doing, but I'm not sure about him.
We got to run through a safety brief before we head out to the Sea King. What we're going to do is talk about the gear that you've got on right now, and then some of the safety features of the aircraft.
I've never been on one before, so I've got a couple guys who have their first time here too, so we'll get ourselves through it.
Follow in behind me, we'll get you on the aircraft, we'll flash up the head, then we'll go, yeah?
I grabbed the cup, and then the next thing you know, I'm sitting in the chopper there, and we're flying over the harbor. I went over the house I grew up in, and that's a good start.
The first stop was aboard the Canadian Navy's HMCS Preserver, which, like Sidney, was celebrating a birthday.
People are so happy to see the native son, Sidney Crosby, being home and being on the HMCS Preserver, which is celebrating its 39th year since its launch. So it's just a wonderful feeling here in Nova Scotia.
Lots of sailors and families here to see you. Thank you so much. This is such an exciting day for us here in Halifax.
Thanks a lot. You know, you talk about sacrifice a lot as a hockey player. The things we sacrifice, they're very minimal. People have to sacrifice here.
Here, I'll take that.
Thank you. Thank you, Sidney. Congratulations. We're proud of you.
Appreciate it.
She's an old girl, so you can write anywhere you want.
It's just an honor, just to see the reaction, you know, to everyone.
This is, of course, an extremely proud day for the city of Halifax. You're here with your family, with your friends, your admirers, but to be here on your birthday as well is extremely special for this province. Thank you very much.
To all the men and women, you know, the Canadian military and all the men and women who are overseas serving our country, I just want to say thank you. As a fellow Canadian, I have so much respect for what you do, so much pride. I can't even imagine the things they have to go through, and especially with their families and leaving home, and they have to go through a lot.
You know, he's a proud Canadian, and he understands the sacrifices that these men and women do.
I got to meet Sidney Crosby. He's got the same birthday as my son, and he's a hero, and he exemplifies what we do and what we do best.
In the military, we like to recognize exceptional performance, service, teamwork, leadership by presenting a commander's coin. I'm giving you two because I'm wondering whether you might want to put one down at center ice out of Vancouver sometime early in 2020.
You know, to be able to share that, you know, with all the men and women that serve our country, I mean, it was a really unique thing, and you know, to see the reaction too, and how happy they were. I was glad the way it worked out. I want to thank everyone. This has been an incredible experience. I'll always remember this, and it's hard to want to stop at one after experiencing this, so hopefully we can do it again.